Do you ever wonder what is intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number? The traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of a community. A community not part of the mainstream, unconventional, peripheral, or extreme. Part of an anthology, a published collection of poems or other pieces of writing. This is Esoteric Lore. I'm your host, Edward Aponte, where I push you to ponder the fringes of folklore. Today we're diving into one of the most revolutionary books in the science of emotions. How Emotions Are Made by neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett. This isn't just another book about feelings, it completely reshapes how we understand them. So here's the big idea. Emotions aren't hardwired into our brains. We don't have your universal circuits for fear, joy, or anger like buttons we push. Instead, emotions are constructed, just like we build thoughts or memories. We also build emotions on the fly. The author calls this the theory of constructed emotion. According to her, your brain is constantly using past experiences to predict what's happening around you and inside your body. Based on those predictions, it gives meaning to what you feel. And that is what we call emotion. In other words, emotions aren't reactions, they're guesses. Your brain is constantly guessing based on your body's signals and what it's learned over time. That means emotions can vary from person to person, culture to culture, even moment to moment. Another myth this book busts is the idea of emotional fingerprints. There's no one brain pattern for fear, no universal facial expression for happiness. Context matters. Your brain creates emotions based on your personal history, your culture, even the language you speak. So what does this mean for you? Well, emotions aren't just things that happen to you. You help make them, whether you realize it or not. And that means you can train your emotional intelligence, expand your emotional vocabulary, pay close attention to your body, learn how to reframe your experiences. You have more power over your emotional life than you might think. Imagine a place where your emotional life is lush, peaceful, and abundant, where every feeling has space to bloom, and your inner world nourishes you instead of overwhelming you. That's what we're calling the emotional Garden of Eden. And believe it or not, you can start planting those seeds right now. The author teaches us that emotions aren't just raw automatic reactions, they're constructions shaped by our brain's predictions past experiences, cultural influences, and even the words we know. So to grow this emotional paradise, we begin by becoming conscious gardeners of our emotional experience. So how do we cultivate this emotional garden of Eden? Step number 1, enrich the soil, expand your emotional vocabulary. The richer your emotional vocabulary, the more nuanced your feelings become. Knowing the difference between irritated, frustrated, and betrayed gives your brain better tools to construct accurate emotional experiences, like compost for the soil. Words make the soil fertile. Try this, for example. Learn a new emotion word. For example, instead of using the word stressful, use the word effortful. Instead of saying, I just had a stressful day, how about using this word, this emotional word in this context? I gave my best effort. The word effort, it carries the idea of pride and ownership. If you say, oh, my workday was stressful, it carries a different emotional baggage, not the best one. So things like that, strategies like that, where you learn a new emotion word and you apply it to a context that's familiar. Like if the day was stressful, instead of using that word to create the emotional baggage that comes with that word, how about using the word effort? I had an effortful day. That means I gave it my all. I did my best. I gave it a great effort. So step number 1, enrich the soil, expand your emotional vocabulary. Step number 2, plant diverse seeds. Embrace emotional diversity. Just like a healthy gardener needs a mix of flowers, herbs, trees, a rich emotional life includes more than just happiness or calm. It welcomes sadness, awe, confusion, gratitude, even grief. Why? Because your emotions help your brain fine-tune its predictions. The more experiences you allow, the more wisdom your nervous system builds. Try this. Don't label certain emotions bad. Instead, ask, what is this feeling teaching me? So step number 2, plant diverse seeds. Embrace emotional diversity. Step 3, water with compassion. Tend to your body budget. The author reminds us that emotions are tied to the body budget. That is, your brain's way of tracking your physical resources. Sleep, hydration, movement, and nutrition directly impact how you feel. So, water your garden, rest when tired, move your body, eat whole foods, regulate your inner climate so emotional growth can flourish. So step number 3, water with compassion. Tend to your body budget. Step number 4, let the sun in. Cultivate predictive awareness. Your brain is a prediction machine. If it constantly expects threat or chaos, you'll feel anxious even when you're safe. But if you train your brain to expect curiosity, meaning, connection, your emotional garden blooms with those qualities. Try this. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your predictions and gently rewire them. Meditation, breathwork, or simply pausing in nature can help. So step 4, let the sun in. Cultivate predictive awareness. Use mindfulness practices to take the time to, if you will, smell the roses carefully. Step 5, prune gently. Reframe and reconstruct. Since emotions are constructed, you can reconstruct them. A stressful moment can be reinterpreted as challenge, not doom. A failed attempt becomes a lesson, not a judgment. If a plant wilts, do you yell at it? No. You check the soil, the light, the water. Do the same with your emotions. The new science of emotions doesn't really promise instant bliss. It does offer something deeper. The truth that you are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are their architect, their gardener. And with daily care, you can create an inner world that is calm, resilient, and beautifully alive. So tend to your emotional Eden with every word, breath, and moment of awareness. You're planting a future you can thrive in. I leave you with a poem on the garden of the mind, inspired by the science of emotion. I tend a garden none can see, beneath my ribs, inside of me. When feelings bloom like crimson rose, and every thorn a truth it knows. The soil is rich with words I've learned, from sorrow's ashes to joy returned. Each name I give to how I feel becomes a seed that helps me heal. With every breath I gently sow the softer winds of what I know, that anger's not a beast to fight, but root-bound need for wrong made right. I water grief with time and grace, let sunlight touch its shadowed face. Where fear once crept, I plant surprise, a wildflower beneath the skies. My body is the garden bed, its rhythms where emotions tread. A rested heart, a nourished core, will yield the blooms I longed for more. No storm can wreck this sacred plot if I attend it with my thought. For feelings too are built, not found, constructed in this fertile ground. And when the world begins to fray, I kneel and breathe, then gently say, I choose to frame, I hold the pen. This garden grows with me again. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.